Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share a step-by-step tutorial on how I created this look, and not only how I created this, but I'm going to be sharing some tips on brushes that I use, why I apply the shadows, where I apply it, and I'm also going to give you some tips too if you have hooded eyes, if you have just smaller eyes as well, as far as like I don't know, really hooded eyes if you don't have a lot of real estate there. I'm just going to give you some tips on how to apply your shadow. I can't really show it on me because my eyes are different, but I'm going to just give you some tips along the way and make it a little bit easier for you so you can apply your eyeshadow like a beauty guru, which I hate to say beauty guru because I don't feel like I'm an influencer. I don't feel like I'm a beauty guru, but that's what we're termed. So that's the title of this video. In another video, an upcoming video, I'm going to share how to apply false lashes. I promise you won't need any alcohol. You don't need to drink anything when you do it. I'm going to give you some tips to make it really, really easy for you. So I encourage you, so you don't miss any of my future content, make sure that you click that button below, hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you click that notification bell too, because fingers crossed, you'll be notified from YouTube. Okay, so in this video, I did a very neutral look. As you can see on my eyes, I did something really neutral today. The palette that I used is this one. I used another one, talk about that in a second. This palette, I just love it. I use the Born to Run palette for this, and you can see colors are gorgeous. You can create so many different looks with this. I love this palette. I've used a lot of the colors in here. I'm not going to tell you I used every one, but I've used a lot of the shadows in here. I love it. You've seen me wearing them. And then the other palette that I'm using with this, just for that little bit of shimmer, because that's one thing this palette is lacking. It has some shimmer, but it's not like Cindy Grace's. I might have to get some individual shimmers, but the one that I love is the one that's in here, in her Enduring Love palette. I don't know, somebody said that they're going to be restocking soon, so I don't know if this is going to be restocked soon. If it is, I definitely would pick it up. This is the light. They have dark and light. I got the light, so may have to pick up the dark. May have to do that. All right, let's talk about how to prep the eye. Really important, prepping the eye. I use, and I'm sorry I did not share this in the video, but I always use an eyeshadow primer. The reason that I use an eyeshadow primer is because I want to, number one, I want to disguise some of the veining. I have some veining, I have discoloration on my eyes. So when you use an eyeshadow primer, most of them are tinted, so they're going to cover some of that up. Another thing that an eyeshadow primer will do is it will help the eyeshadow adhere better to your eyes. You're also going to use less product because since it's going to grip on to the shadow better, you're not going to have to keep on dipping in and applying shadow unless you're using really bad eyeshadow. Then it's not going to matter, because you saw me using that Estee Lauder and it didn't matter with that one. But in general, that's what using an eyeshadow primer is for. So I definitely would recommend it. I used to say go ahead and use a foundation or concealer, because I actually heard other makeup artists say that. But since I only use this, I would definitely recommend this, because with a foundation or a concealer, a lot of times you can get creasing with that. So it's not really going to help. This is going to also help prevent your shadow from creasing. So would recommend it. The one that I've been using, the one that I've been repurchasing right now is the one from Trish McBoy. Really like this one. I've tried the one from Urban Decay. That one's okay. I tried the one from Fenty. Did not like that one at all. And there was another one that I used to use from Tarte, and they don't make that anymore. So this is the one that I am liking right now. When I am creating an eyeshadow look, I like to use a very neutral color first, no matter what look I use. Now, it's something that I never used to do years ago before I applied my shadow, but now I really, really like doing that. The reason that I do that is because it just creates a nice base for the rest of my shadows, and just helps to, when I'm applying my other shadows, it just helps to blend that all in a lot better. Because one thing that makes your eyeshadow look like a beauty guru's and blend it in is that look, that seamless look, so you don't have that line, where it looks like it's dark and then there's nothing there. You want to blend that shadow in. No matter how dark your shadow is, you want to blend it in. So I would start with something like that. Say I was doing like a purpley color or something, then I would go in and I would do like a lighter color like this, and then I would go in with that. So you just want to create that really pretty blended look. Now there's different ways that I do my eyeshadow. One of the ways, probably the way I do it the fastest and the quickest for me, and I don't always use like 5 different eyeshadows. That's like if I have a lot of time on my hands, okay? But normally I use 3 shadows. So I will use a lighter shadow, or I will use a medium shadow in the crease area. And the crease area is right here. If you take your pencil and you put it right here, you'll feel that bone, and you know, right below it's kind of like the eye socket area. That's where your crease is, right there. So I will apply the shadow right there. That's my medium. My dark is always on the outer corner. I like to add a dark on the outer corner, and I kind of lift it up a little bit. You'll see me do an outward V in the video. The reason that I'm applying that there is because I kind of want to lift that eye up a little bit on the corner. And then here I always add a light shadow there because I want to brighten it up. Medium, dark, and light. So I apply the first color all over my eye, and it looks like I'm getting all like up in here, but I'm not. I'm going lightly above the crease area. That is my transition color. Then I will go in with the color that I want to put on the outside corner. So I will use, the fluffy brush that I'm using in this video, I have 2 fluffy brushes that I'd like to use. And these are just the brushes that I'm hooked on using lately. Again, there's other brushes you guys have seen me use in my videos. So if you don't see me using certain brushes, it doesn't mean I don't like them anymore. I'm really enjoying these right now. And I might be buying some more because I'm interested in trying some other brushes. And something I want to say before I get too far. You don't have to have 20 brush sets. If you're an average person that just likes to do makeup, 1 brush set is all you need. You don't have to keep buying it because you see other people buying it. So I just want to share that with you. You don't have to. I just really like brushes and makeup and all that. And I have a channel, so that's why I share it with you. But don't ever feel like, because I'm sharing like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. You probably have a brush that's similar. All right. So these are the 2. These are both from Rougher. So I have the number 15 and the number 16. So it's 15 and 16. So both fluffy brushes. I like to use a fluffy brush to do my transition because I just feel like I can get all over my eye and I can blend it at the same time. And I also, again, like to use a fluffy brush like this when I'm doing my crease here and blending it in. The size of the brush really matters. There's smaller brushes like this, and I see people use those, but I just feel like you're going to get too much color in one area, and you're not going to blend it up around really well with this. So this is a brush I don't use very often. This is the number 13 brush. I don't use this very often. You could use it like on the outside here to blend it in or something. This would be more like a detail brush, I feel like. But these brushes are great for applying and for blending. And it's always good to have one. It's always good to have one that you're going to apply the color and then want to blend it, like a clean brush to blend it. But I always make sure that I'm wiping my brushes off on a towel, or you can use a color switch like this, which is a little sponge thing here, and you can wipe your brush off. But it's always good to clean your brush off in between. The next color that I use is the outer V, if you want to call it that, of the eye. This brush is my number 12 from Rougher. But to see how it's small and compact, so I can get right in here, apply that color. It's really going to pick it up good. I can apply it right here on the outside and then bring it up like that. So you want to look for a nice small brush like this. The BK Beauty brush that I was using for a while, like that. That was really nice. The one that's kind of like at an angle that really perfectly puts it in there. You want to use something like this or that. You don't want to use this. I mean, I have used it if I'm in a hurry, to be honest with you, but it's a lot harder to use a brush like this. You really want to use something like this that is going to, so it doesn't look sloppy, so it gets right into that area. See how it just fits in there? And when you're applying your color, you want to go up, up like this and out. You don't want to bring it too far out. You want to keep it in here. You always want to make sure you keep it in this eye area. You don't want to get sloppy and get it on the outside there. So you apply your shadow right in there. Then I will go ahead and then I will take the fluffy brush and I will, in a circular motion, I will just go like this and then I will bring it up. I will start to bring this outside shadow here. I will start to bring it up here as well. And then I will blend it, blend it, blend it. You can use another color up in there too if you want to, but this is just basic. Like I just want to use a couple shadows and go out the door. This is really, really easy to do. Take the time to blend. And any time that you are holding your brushes, you don't want to hold it like this when you're blending it. You don't want to hold it like this when you are applying it. You want to back your hand up there because you're going to have a lot more control. You're going to have a lighter touch and it's going to look a lot nicer on your eye. So you just really lightly, you're barely touching your skin when you are blending it. You're barely touching it. You can do the windshield wiper up here, blend it out. That's how you apply the outside corner and then you blend it in. For the inner eye, you can, now I did a couple different colors on there. The reason I did two different colors on there is because I want to add a little bit more depth, because sometimes when you are using a shimmer shadow, you, depending on the color, and this one's pretty pigmented, but it is, once I get it on, it can look a little sheer, a color like that. So when you're using a shimmer shadow, if you want to get a little bit of depth, then you want to use a color that's similar to that, just a little bit darker. So you apply that first and then you put that on top. It's going to lighten it up because it's going to be kind of sheer but give a little bit of a shimmer color. So you can apply, I could apply the shimmer with this, but sometimes I like to just apply it with my finger and tap it because I feel like I get more color payoff that way when I use my finger. But you just have to be careful if it's a shimmer that is very has a lot of little particles that might get on your face. If you've already done your makeup, just want to be careful with that. And anytime you use a shimmer, I would tap your brush too a little bit. You can tap it on your finger, whatever, just to get some of that loose shimmer off so it doesn't fall out on your face if you've already done your makeup. Because I tend to do my makeup first and then I do my eyeshadow. I just find for me, I can overdo it when I don't have my other makeup on. I don't know why, I just do. So that's just the way I like to do it. So if you're going to apply any color on your lid, you want to use a color, you want to use a brush like this. See how it's flat and rounded? That is going to make it a lot easier for you to for your placement of your eyeshadow, as opposed to using a fluffy brush like this. It's just not gonna work. It's going to pick up a lot more color. It's going to hold a lot more color. You're going to have a lot more control with this to be able to put it where you want it. So that's what you want to use for your lid. I like to use an eyeshadow underneath my eye area. I just prefer that. I just feel like it's a softer look than a pencil. I just feel like when you use a pencil, I just feel like it's a little harsh and I just like a softer look. So I use this brush. This is from Refer. This is the number 3 brush. See how nice and pointy that is? So you can do a lot of there's a lot of different things you can do with this first detail, but in this video, I use this to put that darker shadow. So I use the same shadow that I used right here, I used under my eye. And I just applied it right there and then I blended it. Don't put too much on, use very little. If you make a mistake, you get too much on, then you can, I don't have my brush in front of me, say, well, this one's a good one too. You can use a brush like this and just get right under here and just kind of clean it up. This is from Fit Glow. This is the double-ended concealer brush. Another one I like is my Heaven Luxe brush, and I don't have it in front of me. I don't know. Oh, yes, I do. From It Cosmetics. This is a really nice one too. So you can get like right under there and just kind of clean it up. You don't want to drag it down too far either, because if you have bags or lines or sags, you're just going to pull your eye down. You don't want to do that. And I don't like to put a liner inside my waterline down here because I just feel like it closes my eye up, and I like my eyes to look bigger. So you take that color and you tap it and you just blend it in. And again, do you see where I'm holding my brush? Always want to make sure that you're holding it out like that. Something that I didn't do in the video, something that you could do if you want to. It's something that I do I don't do this all the time. I don't like to put a shimmer shadow here. I just feel like it emphasizes this area on my eye. And if you have a lot of sagging or wrinkles or whatever, I just would not recommend putting a shimmer or a highlight there. But if you want to just lift your eye a little bit, what you could do, I'm actually going to take this brush. This isn't an eyeshadow brush, but it's what I have in front of me right now. I'm going to take a really light shadow like this. And you can find some that are lighter than this. I don't really have one in front of me that's really light. Actually, let's use this one. This is one from Sydney Grace. Let's use this one. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to place it right at the highest point right there. Can you see that in the light? So what that's going to do is it's going to reflect. Anytime you use a highlighter, you're drawing attention to that area right there. So you better make sure you're putting it in the area that you really want it. Sometimes you can put it in the corner here. It'll just kind of brighten it up a little bit. Let me do a little bit of that. I don't do this very often. Sometimes I do. See how they kind of brighten it up a little bit right there? Just a tad. You just need a tad. See? Right there in the, like right by your tear ducts. And right at the tippy top there, at the tippy top, it's going to help to lift that eye area. Now, if you have a lot of wrinkles in this area, then I wouldn't put a shimmer in there. It's going to, again, anytime you put a highlighter on your skin, in an area of your face, wherever it is, on your cheeks, anywhere in your face, your eyes, it's going to draw attention to it. So if you have a lot of wrinkles in here and you put a shimmer in it, it's going to draw more attention to it. So instead of using a shimmer here, if you want to brighten up your eyes, use a matte color in a brighter color, like a light color, So I would use something that same tone that I use, but I would just use it in a non-shimmer form. So just make sure that you do that. Now, if you have really hooded eyes, I try to, and my eyes aren't really hooded, but I do feel like I have sagging. See, when I'm not animated with my eyes, do you see where that skin is right there? And then it looks like I don't have, it doesn't look like I have, it looks like I don't have a lot of real estate there. But when I'm talking, it looks like I have more. So if you are like this, I still like to put my eyeshadow up a little bit higher. Obviously, I'm not going to put it that high. Find where your crease is right here, your bone right there. And make sure that you are applying color right here. Relax your eye when you're doing it too. I have my lashes on, so it's kind of hard to do this. But you want to make sure that you are putting shadow right in that area, because you want to be able to see it. Now, if you have such hooded eyes that if you do that, it's going to look ridiculous, then really all you can do is try to put a brighter color down here. I would say, and when I say brighter, I don't mean like fluorescent bright colors, you know what I mean? I just mean I wouldn't use really deep colors. Like I wouldn't do a really deep color down there because I just feel like it's going to close your eyes a little bit more. I feel like you still need to brighten your eyes up if you have a little bit of real estate. And maybe adding just a little bit of a highlight right there in the corner just to help brighten your eyes up a little bit. You could even take a lighter shadow and put it like right on the inner corner right there so you can kind of see it a little bit more. Kind of have to play around with it. Like I said, I don't have eyes like that, so I can't show you on me because it's going to look different on me than on you. But that's what I would do. So again, shimmer is really, really beautiful. I love using it. Sometimes I will do an all shimmer look. You have to be careful with the shimmers you use. The only shimmers that I like to use totally on my eyes, the ones that I've used in the past and I have, are the ones from Charlotte Tilbury, because I don't feel like they don't look glittery. Some shimmers can come off looking glittery, and hers don't do that. I feel like they're very complimentary even on mature skin. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope that I answered everything that you were thinking about or wondering about. If there's anything that I didn't mention in this video and you wish I would have answered, please leave a comment in the below and let me know, and I will try to answer your question as best that I can. But I really wanted to do a step-by-step video because I just feel like it makes more sense if you can see me applying it, explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. I just hopefully this will have made more sense to you guys when you're doing your eye looks. It's really not hard to do. It's not complicated at all. I hope that this video was helpful and informative. If it was, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Would really appreciate it if you would share this video. You can follow me on all my socials, and I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? No. Hopefully I didn't. My outtakes are making irritated. Okay. Somebody's testing me. Let's try that again. This is the Born to